Welcome back, everyone. Nearly half of all Americans take vitamins, exercise regularly, and eat well to prevent disease. But you may be surprised to learn that the simple spices that we add to our meals have the most powerful disease prevention influence. Here to tell us how to spice up our health is natural health care expert Mark Mincolla. Nice to see you again.
Great to be here. Thank you so much.
Who knew that it was just as easy as maybe sprinkling on something that you really like?
Spices are the great news in nutrition these days.
Well, apparently back in 2006, the USDA did a study to find out which spices have some kind of influence on our health, and which ones did they find out?
That's right. They developed what they call an ORAC factor, which is kind of a way to develop an understanding about how powerful the disease prevention properties of foods really are.
Okay, and obviously there were some that really came out well.
Well, we found that berries, like blueberries, were very, very high. We also found that beans were really high. We also found that spices are actually higher than the beans and the berries.
Really?
Yes.
Which is very surprising because we all think, we have to turn into a blueberry because we have to eat so many.
Exactly. I always tell people it's great to have the blueberries on the oatmeal, but it's even better to put the cinnamon on top of that.
All right, terrific. So show us some of them and tell us what kind of effect.
Well, clove is actually the very highest. It's 25 times higher than a serving of the berries. And the berries are actually higher than the vitamins. So
right.
the spices are at the top of the pile. So
who would have known, huh?
Who would have ever guessed?
Right.
So clove is number one. It's almost 350,000 compared to like 14,000 for your berries.
Yeah. The issue with clove is that it's hard to get it into your diet.
It is hard to get it into your diet, but you can actually use it in certain casseroles and things like that. It doesn't take much of it, very small amounts. Cinnamon, of course, easy to use. We talk about that on blueberries, and we talk about that in your cereal in the morning.
Do you need a lot, Mark?
No, very little. We're talking about generally servings like a quarter of a teaspoon or a little less than that, so it doesn't take much. Very, very little.
Leave the sugar away from
the
cinnamon,
sugar
however.
Yeah, that's right. No crystals, like we always say. Also, we think about things like oregano, of course, and a lot of Italian cooking and things of this nature. Very, very high in antioxidants. Turmeric has become really popular. Turmeric has been found to be really supportive with folks with cancer, and it is a very powerful antioxidant and immune enhancer. And then cumin, which again is also really great in Southwest spices, and actually a really good salt substitute because there's no sodium in it, but it actually has that salty sort of flavor. So if folks want to substitute the negatives of salt, they can go with cumin.
Now, what I'm really surprised about is that we've got 5 spices here, and I do not see garlic.
Well, garlic is actually a great, great spice. It has allicin. Of course, it's a natural antibiotic. It's a wonderful spice, but it doesn't have the antioxidant properties that these 5. These 5 are the highest 5 of all of them. So, again, when you think about foods are important, more important than vitamins, but the spices are actually more important than the foods when it comes to antioxidants.
Which is so surprising because I would have thought that vitamins would be better for us because it is hard to get antioxidants into your diet. It's hard to eat enough blueberries. True. I mean, you have to eat a lot of blueberries to get enough.
Well, you really don't. Here's the key. You talk about 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. That's a lot of vitamin C. There's about 4,000 of these antioxidant units. Now, if you talk about a serving of blueberries, you're talking 14,000, and then you add the spice to it, you're talking 100 to 300,000. So it's all about the blueberries, the oatmeal, and the cinnamon.
Sure. And again, going back to this, you're talking about 1/4 of a teaspoon for all of these spices?
For each of these, it takes very, very little.
Okay, and once a day?
Once a day.
And it doesn't have to be the same one?
No, not at all.
So you can have blueberries and cinnamon in the morning, and then tomorrow you can have Mexican food. All right, Mark, you've got an event coming up. Tell us about it.
We do. Actually, every Thursday night, the end of the month on Thursdays, I have a presentation I do down at Angels by the Sea. And it's really a mind-body presentation that I'm doing. So it's going to be from 7 to 9 tonight, Angels by the Sea, and that's down in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Should be a great meeting.
Terrific. Great to see
you, like always.
Great to see you
again. Thank you so much.